Okay, let's continue where we left off yesterday. Oh yeah, since you're just now coming in, I ended up deleting that terrible, awful political stream that we did the other day, and I started I started the gnome fountain over from scratch earlier. So yeah, we're gonna pretend that political video didn't exist. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. We didn't have. Yeah, 2 days ago, I started a stream, or I started this project on stream, and I spent like an hour, almost 2 hours, just really laying in about politics. That was a mistake. It felt good. I got it off my chest. I felt so much better after I was done, but it wasn't good content. So we yeeted that one into the sun, and we started over today. Mayor's cat. Lost cat Ulysses. Very fluffy. Please call the mayor. Whatever you do, call the mayor. I get a really good screenshot of this. Wish there was a way I could get rid of the. Damn, I can't. Can't get. I can't. I can't. I can't get rid of my gun. Yeah. Well, I can change my reticle though. Make sure it's small, and I can prop it out. I guess I could do it that way. I can piece it together. I can piece that together later. I don't know if the mayor's cat's actually missing. I keep hearing about the cat being missing. I'm not seeing a cat anywhere. We have seen, well, we've seen footprints. I mean, there's human footprints here. I don't think those are mine. Yeah, I don't leave footprints. I have on the rubber boots. So. The footprints do lead to this poster. No, come on. That should tear that up. Okay. I really have to get in up and close with the. We'll have to get the ladder and get up there. All right, let's get back to washing. Since we don't want to carry the same topic from yesterday's episode over into today, we need something new to talk about. Since Lewis is here, maybe Lewis can provide us with the topic for today. What do you think? You missed a really good conversation, too. I was sitting here for the last hour talking to myself, telling my life story, having a good time. We need something new. Talk about apples and oranges. Talk about construction paper. I don't fucking know. You know what Mario game was really good that I've been thinking about lately that we played through so fast that I sometimes forget we played it? Mario Wonder. Now that's a game that needs a new hefty DLC pack. That I need a reason to play that again. Like, I need a reason to go back to it, you know? Oops. I remember I borrowed it too. I never actually bought my own copy. I still need to do that at some point. I wish the games would go on sale. You don't want this episode to be deleted. No, come on, man. Give us something to talk about. Well, you're the host. It's your show. You're supposed to come out with... Oh, shut up. I'm giving Chad an opportunity to participate. This really is a pretty color. Look at that. I want to fill this bad boy with water and go swimming in it. Well, minus all this crud. Also, what the hell is this red? This isn't blood, I hope. This blood? Tell me it's not blood. Get a blood spatter analysis in here. Expert. That's the word I meant. Blood spatter expert. Come in here. We get Dexter to come in here and tell us that this is blood. All I ask is that we avoid talking about food. I'm not talking about anything but food. I'm fasting today. Last thing I want to even think about, remotely think about, is food. I don't want to hear about food. I don't want to think about food. Food doesn't exist. My fat ass has eaten enough food for 2 lifetimes. I'm done. Tomorrow is the 20th. We'll be doing Patreon stuff tomorrow, by the way. Just FYI for everybody. This is probably going to be the more tedious part of this job. Is just getting this ground area, floor, base, whatever you want to call it, pool part. Because it's big, it's open. It's like when we did the skate park. So bear with me, everybody. This part's going to be a little... That's why I'm trying to come up with topics. What can we talk about? Let me think for a minute. What's something we could chat about that we've not chatted about before? What could we chat about? Ooh, I didn't realize. Gotta get this part. Get you cleaned up, Mr. Gnome. Nintendo Switch 2 2026. What about the Nintendo Switch 2? Like what might come out for it? I don't know. That's a good question. The only game on the foreseeable future that I even care remotely about that I know is coming out for the Switch 2 is going to be Pokopia, but we're not going to be getting that immediately. Like it's going to be a while before we can get that because, you know, I'm in savings mode right now. We're not spending any more money on video games for a while. The only way I will break that is if they announced a new Metroid tomorrow and it came out soon. And then Pokemon Gen 10. That's obviously a day one game for me. But those 2 exceptions notwithstanding, we're not going to be buying any games for a while. Maybe if a new Smash Brothers were announced, I might pick that up. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I really wasn't a big fan of the last one. I did not. Tyler thinks Ultimate's probably the best. And I think a lot of people really liked Ultimate, but I did not like Ultimate. It was actually the first Smash Brothers outside of Wii U that I didn't like. Because I really liked the 3DS version better than Wii U. I did not like Smash Brothers Wii U. I didn't like the Wii U as a console. I thought it was an epic failure. Like, even when I got all the ROMs and emulators, you know, from my NES, SNES forward, I went all the way through GameCube, Wii. I stopped at the Wii because there was nothing on the Wii U. There's like one or two games that I still want to play for the channel, but I can't really emulate the Wii U. How do you emulate the tablet? You know, that tablet controller is a problem. But predictions, you say? I think it's going to be a long, slow year of no big announcements and no big. Well, I won't say no big announcements, no big releases. Um, Obviously, towards the summer months, we'll start hearing Nintendo's plans. They'll have crossed into the next fiscal year, and they'll start, kind of saying, well, we have this in production, and we have this in production, and starting giving us little hints maybe here and there. But I don't think we'll see any like major releases. We'll see a lot of shovelware. We'll see some third party stuff come out. I think Nintendo might keep the train rolling of like remastering older games, but I kind of think they probably don't need to keep doing that. I think we can stop with the whole remaster thing at this point and really focus on making newer games. That's what I would do anyhow. I'm not saying nobody anywhere ever should not make a remaster. Sometimes you do. Sometimes I do want an old game to be remastered. That's not what I mean. I mean like Nintendo needs to, like when they gave us Mario Kart 8 instead of Mario Kart 9 for the Switch, and remastering all the Zeldas. They don't have to keep doing that, but I think we'll see a lot of just non-exciting stuff that really doesn't tickle our fancy. Not that it'll be bad. I don't think they'll be bad. I think it'll just be stuff we don't care about. We'll kind of be over here in the corner doing our own thing on PC and not really paying too much about what's going on the Switch, which I saw on the internet. Nintendo may be gearing up to release a Switch 2 Lite or a different version of the Switch 2. And, I think I share Tyler's opinion with that. They really kind of needed to do that because the Switch 2 is too expensive at this point. Nobody can afford one and nobody wants one. The people who want one can't afford it, and the people who don't want one also can't afford it. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, I don't know. We got a new Mario Kart. Other than that, I don't think we're going to see anything too spectacular with it. I'm kind of wanting to see what happens in February with with Pokemon Day. And that's all the way at the end of February. So, I think. Isn't Pokemon Day? It's either February 6th or February 27th. Those are the two dates I have in my brain for some reason. I don't remember which one. One of those two is Pokemon Day. And we'll get a lot of announcements then, which that's been pretty depressing too. And I'm not saying this to be negative Nancy, but Pokemon has been disappointing for a handful of years now. I get really excited. I tune into the Pokemon Presents, and then it's just a whole wave of bullshit I don't care about. The Ultimate was peak. As much as I don't like Ultimate, you're not wrong. Ultimate was probably their better selling Smash Brothers, at least in a long time. And I could be wrong. I don't have the numbers here in front of me. I'm just going based off feelings. I feel like it did very well. I really want a new Smash Brothers, but I want a new Smash Brothers built from the ground up. I don't want them to just bring in Sakurai and say, make 82 new characters and stages, and we're going to re-release it as Ultimate Remastered or some bullshit. No. The next Smash Brothers should be built brand new from scratch, like they did with Mario Kart World. It doesn't need to be like a Switch 2 edition of Ultimate. No. Because I'm not buying that. I'm not buying a Switch 2 edition of Smash Brothers Ultimate. This is not a thing I'm going to do. Not going to happen. Switch 2 games are already too expensive. Not only are they just too expensive on their own in a vacuum, they're too expensive for what they are. They're not worth what they're asking by any means. Metroid Prime 4. And I love Metroid Prime so fucking much. It's my favorite game franchise of all time. Metroid Prime 4 was not an $80 game. It wasn't a $70 game. It just wasn't. Mario Kart World is barely a $50-$60 game. They're not, no, none of these Nintendo games are even remotely worth what they're asking for them. So no, no, just no, no. But with all of that being said, we don't have E3 anymore, but Nintendo still does tend to give us E3 like announcements around that time of the year, June, July. Nintendo usually comes forward and does a presentation or something and tells us something. So if we're going to see anything, it'll probably be during the summer months. But at this point, like any excitement and enthusiasm I have for Nintendo is kind of going out the window right now. Um, Not to say I'm like anti Nintendo right now, and far from it. I still really like Nintendo, but I'm kind of, we're taking a break. We, like it's a relationship. We're taking a break. We're not living in the same house. I've moved out. They kept the kids. I'm in an apartment by myself. I see the kids once a week when I need to stream a Nintendo game. We're not divorced, but we're not sleeping under the same roof. Because they added them to the game, they could announce a new Banjo, Kingdom Hearts, new games. Banjo is in a Banjo's in the same position that any Rare IP is in. It's owned by Microsoft, and at this point, I don't think you're going to see a new Banjo game anytime remotely soon. Microsoft brand is kind of dead. People really don't give two flying shits about Microsoft. It doesn't sell nowhere near what Nintendo and Sony sells. And Tyler was telling me yesterday that the new Xbox might very well let you just natively have Windows on it with no special requirements, like no bullshit. Just it'll straight up have Windows 11 or whatever as an operating system. And they're going to take away the paid subscription service for playing online. That would be huge. That would be huge. And it would help them to dominate the console market. Everybody would probably get back into Xbox. Could you imagine being able to play your games online again for free, like you should be able to do from the get-go? Because now at this point, you do have to pay all three companies to play online. And it's dumb. But it is what it is. But that kind of, that if that's true, that's huge. Because again, right now, the Microsoft brand just really isn't worth much. Nobody really cares about Halo anymore. Nobody's buying Xboxes anymore. Xbox already doesn't do too well outside of America. It doesn't do dick in Japan. They don't sell them worth a flip in Japan. But yeah, Banjo and other rare characters, I'm afraid, are kind of in this shit, what do you call it when you're between heaven and hell? The starts with a P. Purgatory. Rare's IP is in purgatory because it was successful on Nintendo's consoles. It wasn't successful on the Xbox. And unfortunately, Rare's IP was kind of like, it was lightning in a bottle. It does not translate well to the modern era. You would need a very special team of writers and producers to make another Banjo game and recapture the magic that the original Banjo had. It would be really hard to do. At this point, Microsoft has more success loaning out their characters and stuff, like Banjo into Smash Brothers, than they do with their own attempts at using the characters. So, I don't know. I've gotten to the point where I'm more excited to, like, how do I explain this? I have been disappointed and let down on a consistent basis year after year after year of just terrible E3 after E3 after E3. And even when E3 went kaput and then everybody was doing their own presents, it got to a point where I just stopped watching. I stopped watching the Game Awards. I stopped watching Nintendo Presents. And yeah, I've gotten to the point where I don't even give a shit about watching the Nintendo Directs anymore. I've already gotten fat full off of 2 new Metroid games. We had Metroid Dread a couple of years ago. We got Metroid Prime 4. I know it's going to be a hell of a long time before I get another Metroid game. So I'm just kind of sitting over here with my belly and my toothpick, knowing I've been eating good. And they're not going to announce anything anytime soon that I care about. We already know due to the Terra leaks that Pokemon Gen 10 is coming. It'll be Switch 2 exclusive. It'll be Pokemon Wind, Pokemon Waves. We already know all about it. All I have to do is wait for it to come out and then buy it. So I don't see any announcements coming that are going to tickle my fancy. And that's not to say that it won't be exciting for other people. It just won't be exciting for me. I do want more multiplayer stuff though from Nintendo. I'm not a big fan of this single player era that we've been living in. Era that we've been living in since I don't know, the last decade. I really want to be able to play with people more, and I want more fun games to come out that allow me to do that. And here's the thing, I don't want them to be streamer games. I don't like all these streamer games. I want old school fun multiplayer party games, if anything. I don't want the, like, how do I put it? Your Peak, your Lethal Company, your Among Us, your Phasmophobias, streamer games, that kind of stuff. Because I don't have any streamer friends to play them with. You know what I mean? It's like, how? How am I supposed to enjoy myself with those kinds of games? So, and unfortunately at this point, Mario Party fits into that category as well. I don't have anybody to play Mario Party with. Every time I try to gather 3 people, I can't even get 3 IRL human beings to play Mario Party with. So I've given the fuck up. Probably never get to do Mario Party on my channel because I just don't have 3 friends that can get together at the same time to fucking do it. But, I think we're about to enter a period, at least on my channel, with my content, with me. I think we're about to enter a period of just playing stuff and having fun, and enter an era of like less announcements, less looking forward to stuff, and more being in the moment and playing what we have on our plate, if that makes sense. Because I think a lot of what we do as a community, gamers and stuff, I think a lot of our problem is just constantly looking towards what's coming out. Ooh, what's coming out? What's coming out? What's coming out? What's going to be announced? Is a sequel going to be announced? Is a remaster going to be announced? I think that hurts us. I think we do that a lot to our own detriment. It's already a cliche that, that we have too many games and we haven't finished them yet, You knew you should have kept quiet. No, don't say that. Don't say that. I asked you for topics. I asked you for topics. I didn't say anything bad. Yet. Good Lord, this is... I was right when I said this is going to be the slowest part. But yeah, I don't know. There's not really too much to look forward to for me personally in the future as far as like announcements are concerned. I have so many games that I've bought that we need to play that now I'm entering my let's roll up our sleeves and get it done era, So that's kind of where my mind is now. I'm looking forward to playing new games we've never played before. I've got so many games on Steam that not only have I never played them, I've never seen anybody play them. So we're going to be going in real fresh with a lot of the games that I have on Steam, you know. That's good. Brand new experiences, you know, new franchises, new IP. We're not just going to be doing the same thing over and over. It'll be good. It's going to be toy. You're actually watching gameplay videos of dinosaur simulators. Ooh. Anything good? Dinosaur games can be kind of hit or miss. Sometimes you get a really good one, and for every good dinosaur game, there are like 8 to 10 really sucky ones out there. Some of them are like funny bad, though. They're fun to laugh at. Oh, Mr. Spot. Oh. I will say this, though, before we move on completely into a new topic. Game Freak is on their last. They have one left. They have one left. They have made consistently terrible Pokemon games for so long now that they have one left. If Gen 10 comes out and it's complete and utter garbage, if it makes all the same mistakes that Violet and Scarlet made and Sword and Shield made and so on and so forth, if it's as terrible as Legend ZA was, this Pokemon's no longer a day one for me. I'm not going to stop playing it, but I'm also not going to be paying $80 for each game. I might not be doing that on principle along before long. I don't know how I feel. $80 for a game is stupid. I can't pay $80 for a video game. That's stupid to me. And companies like Nintendo might not want to hear this, but I will start pirating. I will. I will start emulating the Switch and the Switch 2. If you think I'm going to pay $80 every time I want to buy a Switch 2 game, you have lost the plot, son. You've lost the plot. I'm not going to do it. You know what this red reminds me of? And I said let's not talk about food earlier. For some reason, this red screams red velvet cake to me. I don't know why. I do love red velvet cake, though. Of course, my fat ass loves it, but you know what I mean. Like, it's really good cake. Really good cake. At least my first go-to wasn't food. When I first noticed it earlier, I was like, hey, is this blood? Although I don't know what that says about my character, that I thought it was blood before I thought it was food. Looked good, had skills, missions, and stuff like that. Were you were around yesterday, right? for Fallout 4. I finally started Fallout 4 yesterday. I think you were here for that, I think. Oh, I completely missed Community Day yesterday, let me tell you. I've given up so much on Pokemon Go. I was in town running errands, and when I got home, I was like a block away from the house, and I decided, let me open Pokemon Go and at least check this gym by my house and see if I'm still in there. And when I opened it, 1,000 Grookey popped up everywhere, and I was like, oh shit, it's Community Day. So I managed to catch 2 shinies because it was like 4:55 when I turned the game on. So I literally had 5 minutes before Community Day ended. So I caught 2. But yeah, like I was telling you the other day, when the weather warms up and we get past, get into spring and past the winter months and everything, if they can find a way to bring my interest back to Pokemon Go, I'll get out and play it again. But otherwise, I turn the game on at this point anymore just to get whatever newly released Pokemon is there, and then I quit playing. I'm bored with it. I miss when they used to release the Pokemon all together at once by generation. That's what I liked. That's what really got me out there playing, Now they release them piecemeal. They'll release maybe 2 or 3 sets from whatever generation is the newest, and then they just wall off all of the rest of them and release them slowly over time. I can't be bothered to deal with it. Lord help me. When I clean this fountain, you guys had better take better care of it. Don't let it get this filthy again. I will whoop that ass. I had to delete a YouTube comment the other day. I was watching this video where this child was pitching a temper tantrum. He was like he was just picking up everything from around him and throwing in books, toys, throwing fucking chairs, flipping the coffee table. I mean, this child was going berserk. And the whole time the parents are like, now that's not very nice. You shouldn't be doing that. Think about the consequences of your actions. Think about what you're doing. And I was like, yeah, no, that child needs his ass tore up. He needs a fucking spanking, something. And the comments are like, oh, you're a big fan of child abuse. You're going to hit your child. I'm like, fuck off. Just fuck right off. But I ended up deleting the comment because I didn't want to deal with dumbasses. And as much as I would like to go into the whole debate of spanking your children versus non-physical punishment, I'm not having that debate on stream. I just wanted to mention it because I found it funny. You would have had to have been there. Half the comments was giving me a hard time and calling me names and stuff, and the other half of the comments were agreeing with me. It depends on how you feel. I mean, nobody should beat their child, but spanking, whatever. Ooh. The days are getting a little bit longer, just a hair bit longer every day. It is now it is 5:05 p.m. here, and I can still see blue skies. The sun has gone down behind the trees, but it's still daylight out technically. God, that 4:30 in the afternoon turning dark is miserable. I hate it. I know I bring this up a lot, but it's like my biggest obsession right now. I want more daytime. I hate it. Well, ping. We haven't heard a ping in a while. You know what these little brown spots actually remind me of? Barnacles. We haven't done any ocean stuff yet, have we? Everything we've done has been landlocked territory. I wonder, will we get any ocean stuff? Humans fall like yesterday, put into strange technical games. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, here's my thing. You guys know how much I love Metroid Prime. In case I didn't mention that 5 billion times. I like the simplicity of it. I like the fact that I'm walking around shooting at stuff, but I'm also on this grand adventure. I'm scanning, I'm collecting, I'm exploring. It's really fun. I want to do that with Fallout as well. I want to explore the vast wastelands of this new world, and I want to get into shenanigans. I want to meet different characters. I want to get into gunfights and fight bosses and enemies. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to have to craft anything. I don't want to have to gather and supplies and I don't want to have to manage an inventory. I don't want to have to cook. I don't want to have to do any of that stuff. I do not like that stuff in video games. I just don't. Is one of the bigger contributing factors to why I didn't play Breath of the Wild. Because and I tell this story all the time. It's like the first time I ever played Breath of the Wild, I was actually played it on stream. I mean, that's been deleted, but I did play it on stream, and I didn't know where to go or what to do. And Thomas was there in chat, and he's like, "Well, you need to build this, and you need to build that, and you need to construct this and that." And I was like, "Okay, how do I build it?" He's like, "Well, you need these supplies." He gave me a list of supplies, and I went and I tried to find them all, and I couldn't find them all, and I was very frustrated and pissy. I didn't want to put all that effort in for something so stupid. Then I immediately entered a frozen area and froze to death, and I was like, I'm not fucking doing this. I'll go back to Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. I'm not playing this bullshit. So no, yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty there, and I'm hoping that I can skirt around it with Fallout 4. I'm hoping that when I do have to craft stuff, and I know eventually I will have to craft stuff to finish the game, I'm hoping that it's not too invasive, because I don't want to do any of the chemistry bullshit. I don't want to build and make weapons. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to fucking pick up a gun and shoot. Like, video games became too video gamey. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's overly complicated for no goddamn reason. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be. And it's frustrating because I really want to play Breath of the Wild. Everybody loves it. Everybody says it's the best Zelda ever made. That and Tears of the Kingdom. They're so good. You're missing out. Why don't you play them? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't want to craft shit. I don't want to manage a heavy inventory. I grew up in an era where if I couldn't enter the frozen area, I just went and got some clothes, and that, I went and unlocked an item that let me go there. I didn't need to go and hunt fish and rabbits and shit. I and it's unfortunate for me that that's kind of the new standard. That's where video games are headed, like ultra realism. What game did I do the other day? Skyrim, that's what it was. We started we officially started a long playthrough of Skyrim Special Edition on the channel. And at the beginning of the game, right before we started, it said, do you want to do immersive mode or something like that? Basically, you would have to keep track. You'd have to make sure you stayed fed, stayed hydrated. You'd have to sleep. You would have to weather and extreme cold would affect you, and you would have to worry about wearing certain clothes. And I was like, no to all of this. No. But see, the thing is, I also don't want to take it away from other people who like it. That's the sucky thing. Some people love playing video games like that, and that's cool. And I'm happy for them. That's why I like having the options. I like when it's optional, and Bethesda made it optional. It asks me, and I was so happy. I was like, yes, thank you. Thank you for asking. Thank you for not making it mandatory. So I don't know. I don't know if it's just my brain, because I used to say things like, well, I grew up playing NES games where that wasn't a thing. But see, you can't really use that excuse, because my contemporaries or my peers, they grew up playing the same games I did, and they eat that shit up with a spoon. They're playing Minecraft, Fortnite, Stardew, and all these other games with tons of crafting and building and inventory management out the wazoo. They're playing all those games. They love them, but I don't. And I think, that it is what it is. I'm not going to magically start liking them overnight just because of the FOMO. I've seen what FOMO does when I try to be part of everyday society. It doesn't work out, but hopefully it's not too invasive with Fallout as we go. I will make an attempt to learn what I can learn and play the game the way the developer wants me to play it. I'm not going to be a big baby about it. I'm going to try, but I'm not going to do it a lot either, Not going to be my primary focus. But I do want to try Stardew Valley again. I want to get started on that as soon as I can. The reason I haven't gotten back on it with you guys so far is because at the moment I'm at capacity. I can't start any new games. We need to finish some of the ones we started before I start anything else. And then two, I guess this year is Sonic's 30th anniversary, so I'm going to want to do some anniversary stuff with Sonic the Hedgehog. It's also Metroid's 40th anniversary, so I'm going to want to do some anniversary stuff for Metroid. So, not only do I need to do the already giant workload of playing the games that are on my list of games to play, I've got several anniversaries this year to attend to. So it's going to be a busy year on my channel. Busy year on my channel. Busy. We got to get rid of all this blood. That's a lot of blood. Did the gnomes massacre somebody? What happened? They come to life at night and kill people? Do satanic rituals? rituals. In case you missed it, I did a Simpsons stream this morning. We took care of Marge's story. Hers was really short, especially compared to Lisa's. I've been playing the Simpsons Hit and Run, beside this game. Yeah, but I did Marge's stuff this morning. Took a little under 2 hours to do the full Marge story. I kind of want to try to find as many of the Easter eggs as I can, which will mean going back in with each character and taking a look around. Because we've been kind of focused solely on doing the missions. I don't know. Jesus. I've been looking at this map for so long that I'm just starting to, my brain's starting to go. The older we get, the more selective. Yeah. I mean, there's the old cliche of like being set in your way. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. We do primarily, as we get older, kind of becomes less receptive to new things in a way. Yeah, you're not wrong. But for me, I was never open to new things. I've always been stubborn. I've never been real big on like new experiences and stuff. I've been real bad about that most of my life. It's an anxiety thing. I get hella anxiety with unfamiliar and new. I have been trying to work on that and break out of that, though. I've had varying success with that. I did. I touched on that earlier in the last episode. Okay, we're at 48%. Damn. Our tastes are more defined. So are the games companies that target a certain audience or have more moving away from the play and enjoy something. In my case, I can play even half of what you play. Really? Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. I think a lot of it too probably has to do with how you grew up and how many games you played growing up, you know. Were you a gamer? Did you just play video games in passing? Were they a small part of your life? Were they a big part of your life? A lot of that does kind of play into it too. And then there's individual taste. Maybe you just don't find a lot of video games appealing because it's just not, the subject matter just isn't really all that appealing. There's been many different things, many different reasons it might be the case. But for me, I think it's a selection thing. The same with literature. I already have a hard time sitting down and reading a book because of my attention span. I'll read the same page over and over and over. I'm usually good for about a chapter, like more realistically. I say the page thing all the time. Like I start a new book and I'll get a chapter or two in, and then my mind starts to wander, and then I have to start rereading pages I've already read, and then I really struggle sitting there to pay attention because it's not audio visual, and I'm having to use 100% of my brain to focus, and I have aphantasia as well. So when I close my eyes, it's just black. I can't visually see things with my mind like most other people can. So I have a really hard time with imagination, and I have a really hard time with creating the world the book is trying to create through its explanation. So I could read, well, Tommy went down the road, he found a dog, and then he and then the dog became friends, and then they found an apple tree and picked the apples. Now, usually when you read that in a book, your brain is creating the environment, the kid, the dog, the apples. That apple is really red, and you can see that in your mind's eye. I can't. I know what all those things look like, but my brain can't visualize it the same way because of the aphantasia, which I didn't even know I had until I was a grown ass adult. I thought I was just, a lazy piece of shit who didn't like reading because I've always had attention issues with reading. And for a while, I thought it was an ADD thing. And then I thought it was an ADHD thing. But I don't know that that's the case because I show pretty good focus when I'm sitting here doing this. You know what I mean? I could sit here and stream for a couple of hours and be focused on the task at hand. My mind's not wandering. I don't feel the need to get up and walk around and fidget. So I don't necessarily think it's an ADHD thing. I definitely think it's an what do you call it? What I said was aphantasia. I think that's definitely the largest contributing factor. Audiobooks help a little bit with that, but I still end up with the same issue because I'll sit there and I'll listen to the audiobook and I'll be on board for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And then I will realize, oh shit, I haven't been listening to what they were saying. And then it's either go back or just give up. You know what I mean? So reading is very difficult for me in that regard. And I think video games are kind of a little bit the same. Well, not the same. I think with video games, for me, it's about if I don't find the subject matter interesting, then I really can't get on board. And running around aimlessly in a world just shooting at stuff has never really appealed to me. About the same way that like fantasy with RPGs, they don't really appeal to me in that way either. Cause you're just like, I don't know. I'm already not super into fantasy stories. I'm sci-fi guy, not fantasy guy. So I got it. Yeah, that's how I feel. It's just, you know, I started reading the book Tyler recommended. You haven't picked it up since. I didn't even bother starting it. Um, Half the books that my friends recommend to me are great. I mean, they're really great. I just cannot control myself enough to get through them. And because society pokes fun at that, I always just assumed I was stupid, like because that's what we do. It's a joke in society, like, oh, you wear glasses and read books all the time. Well, you're a nerd. You must be a smarty pants. You're a smart guy. You read, and then they, the polar opposite. They're like, oh, you don't ever read. You don't pick up a book. You must be really fucking stupid. The cliches, the stereotypes. But yeah, I wish it wasn't so. I would love to be that guy who just reads all the time and doesn't spend all my time in front of a screen. I mean, it's good for you. Reading is one of the best things you can do for your brain. It's really healthy. It's really fun. I just struggle with it so badly that I don't bother. And it's funny because Tyler is severely ADHD'd, and I don't know how the fuck he reads. I have no idea how that boy sits down and reads a book. I can't get him to focus on anything for more than 2 seconds. How he reads is beyond me. But he'll clear an entire book like it was nothing. I don't know. I don't know. I know I'm going to have to get up and run to the bathroom in a second. I've been drinking all this stuff. Ooh. Tyler and I are actually going to play some Monster Hunter later when he gets home from work. We're not streaming it, but it is a thing we're going to do. Let's see. Do I need to? Yep. I thought so. Yeah. Damn, I left more behind everywhere than I thought. Little specks here and there. Look at that. Look at that. Look at it. 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 It's a real shame this got this filthy because it's really pretty. Really pretty color. Really pretty bottle of water. You speak English. How the fuck do you mess it up that badly? I'm sorry, British. Your English is broken as hell. I know most of the world hates the American accent. I get it. I trust me, I get it. I cringe when I hear the Southern accent a lot. Because like most people, I equate Southern accent with low intelligence. I get it. But like, goddamn, British people. You fucking English. It's literally in your name. How do you butcher it that badly? I found a very interesting YouTube video the other day. I don't remember the name of the channel, which makes me a bastard because I hate talking about channels I don't remember the name of. You could probably find it though if you just type in what I'm about to explain. But it starts off with what English sounded like 1,000 years ago, and it's somebody that just talks for the whole video, and every few seconds it jumps forward by a handful of years. So you're literally listening to English evolve over the course of 1,000 years. And about 500, 600 years in, you start recognizing words like farm and chicken, and you're like, hey, it is English. But before that, it sounds like a completely alien language I've never heard before. Even just 1,000 years ago, English apparently is unrecognizable to English from today. It's very interesting. And like English today, as far as I am aware, and I could be wrong, English is one of the hardest goddamn languages to learn if you're not born into it. And let me tell you, I'm 41 years old. I was born in America, raised in America. I've spoken English my entire life, and I am still learning bullshit about English. On occasion, I'm still learning something new, and I'm like, no way. How? How have I spoken this bullshit language my entire life, and I'm still learning new shit about it, new rules, new things, and I'm just like, it's mind-bogglingly funny to me. I find it absolutely hilarious. English is so odd. And like, we don't really appreciate, like native English speakers, we don't appreciate just how fucking hard it is and how much work people put into learning English as a second language. You should be respecting people for that, not fucking sending. I'm not going to get into it. Just you should be respecting people who know more than one language, because I don't fucking know more than one language. Like Dutch. Yeah, okay. I posted it in the Discord, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. See, that's all the more reason for any of you guys watching this. You should be in the Discord. There's lots of fun stuff that goes on in there, like learning about English and how it sounded 1,000 years ago. Actually, it's going to bother me like hell if I don't tell you guys who that is, because I'm going to feel like a piece of shit if I don't tell you the name of that YouTube channel. So let me bring that up, and then I'm going to run to the bathroom. Brain rot. How far back? Here it is. How far back can you understand English? YouTube channel is Simon Roper. Simon space Roper. Simon Roper. Search him on YouTube. He has a lot of interesting videos. I clicked it. Now it's going to try and load. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. You're going to play video, aren't you? Okay. The @ for the YouTube channel is Simon Roper 9218. Let me see. Can I take a screenshot of this? I can take a screenshot of this. Ooh, you know what I can do that's even better? 1 second. Shit, no, I can't. God damn it. Hang on a minute. You know what I do need to set up? I was thinking about this the other day. I need to set up like a display capture in Streamlabs, so when we do things like this, I don't have to constantly take time out of the episode to copy and paste. And you're probably thinking, well, Eric, you could put this in post. I could, but I won't. I won't remember. And that's an old image from the other day that ain't got nothing to do with what we're talking about. Hang on a minute. Where'd it go? This is currently what his YouTube channel looks like if you go there. This. It was a very interesting video. He's like, lately I've been trying to watch as many videos as I can that have nothing to do with nothing. Just I want to learn something new instead of sitting here watching my 40,000th Let's Play. I'll be honest with you, it's gotten to where I just can't watch gaming content on the internet. I can sit here and play games, and I can make Let's Plays for you guys. I can't watch other people play video games. At least not right now. I'm just not in the mood. I'd much rather be watching some dry documentary about nature or science. Or lately I've gone down the rabbit hole of watching like police arrest videos, body cam videos, interrogation videos. I have no idea why. I don't inherently have any interest in that stuff, but the videos are interesting for some reason. I couldn't tell you why. Bathroom time. Be right back. Okay. I'm back. I'm back. I grabbed a banana. I haven't eaten anything today. I was going to fast, but I thought, fuck it. I'll eat my banana and I'll eat my salad later, and that'll be good enough. Banana. They're good and green too. I can't do bananas unless I gotta get they're pretty green. Well, they can be too green now, but they have to have some tint of green to them, or I can't. I can't. They're too gross. Lewis likes bananas. Who doesn't like bananas? What kind of insane lunatic doesn't like bananas? I tell you what, I don't like anymore apples. I have fallen off with apples. And I don't know what it is, but lately I don't want apples. I don't care what type they are, what color they are. I've not been into apples now for a good while. I want my plums, my peaches, my bananas, oranges, grapes, just all the other fruits that I like and enjoy. I something about apples. I don't know, man. Not feeling it lately. Same with raisins. I was on a raisins kick for a little bit, and then that got old quick. And now I can't even look at a raisin. I want nothing to do with them. But hey, I don't know if they have any plums at the store, at the market, however you want to call it. Usually for most places on Earth, fruits and things are seasonal. Then again, here in the States, we are fortunate enough to be able to like fly in anything we want. Because we're fat. But even then, some stuff might still be seasonal. Like you're not going to buy a pumpkin or a watermelon this time of year. Jesus. I missed so many spots. Okay, let me double check. Make sure I got all the... Oh my God. I missed all the rims. Oh my God. How? Green apples are delicious. See, I don't really like the tart green apples. They're too tart. Like I don't really care for sour things that much. Like I can't do lemons. Lemons are too sour. I don't really like lemons. I like them, but I don't like them, if that makes sense. They're delicious, but I just don't, I can't stand the sour element of the lemon. The red apple variety called Pink Lady, you also like? I was real big on Gala apples for a while. And, I don't think I've seen them at the store in a while. Those prices have gone up so much that nobody's buying fruit. It's too expensive. The bananas are still relatively cheap and plentiful, but like, goddamn, the other stuff's gone up exponentially. You know, I don't know that I've ever had a mango. They have them all the time at the store. I've never tried one. As far as I can remember, if I've had one, I don't remember. I might have had a mango. I don't know. It's common enough to where I should have had one. I've never had dragon fruit. I can tell you that. Never had dragon fruit. There's actually a ton of fruit out there that we don't remember exists. You know what I mean? Like, unless you're a fruit connoisseur or a foodie, the common person couldn't tell you all the fruits there are. I couldn't tell you all the fruits that exist. Oh, shit. We jumped to 56%. Woohoo! Never eaten dragon fruit. Pineapples are great. I love pineapple. Love pineapple. Coconuts. Pineapples and coconuts. Yes. 1,000 times yes. I'm sorry. A lot of people hate coconut. I don't know how you can hate coconut. It's one of the greatest fruits on the planet. Well, is coconut fruit or is that a seed? That's a seed. No, I don't really know. All I know is coconut's great, and if you don't like it, You're entitled to your wrong opinion. I love saying that. I picked that up months ago from another YouTuber, and now I can't stop saying it. I'm waiting on somebody to fight me for it or fight me over it. Nobody has yet. I want a good fake fight. You know what I mean? I want a fake fight between a friend where we both know we're playing, and I want it to carry on for months. I want to fight. I don't want to fight for real. I want a fake fight with a friend. Somewhere where we know the stakes don't exist and nothing's going to come of it. Because I have not been in an argument or a fight in a long time. And it used to be fun. It used to be fun to like debate philosophy. Me and Tyler used to do it all the time, talk about stuff. We kind of have fallen off with that. I can fight with you. We're able to reach 60% in under 3 hours. I don't know. To find out. This place is huge. Like, this isn't even in the main list. Like, this is not part of career mode. Well, technically, we don't even have to do this area to finish the game. This game actually has career mode, free play, a timed doohickey, and then it has like just extras for fun. And this was under the extras for fun. I guess we still do get paid for it though. Hang on. Shit. Wow. Kai said something, or Cubby, depending whether you want to call him by his name or his username. He had said something about playing Minecraft with us. I'm thinking what I may do. I may make a brand new Minecraft world for everybody to play in, because I'm hesitant to like let him and Thomas and everybody else into to Lassanobia. That's kind of just a me, you, and Tyler thing. Originally, it was just going to be a me streaming thing, but then Tyler was like, "Well, I'm super into Minecraft. It's one of my favorite things ever." And I was like, "All right, well, come play it with me." I finally got him to come play it with me, and then, you know, I got to the point where I was like, "Well, let's add Lewis. It would be fun." I've been wanting to play games with him for a while. There's not a lot we can play. Our internet connections don't always line up 110%, so it's kind of difficult for us to play something that requires like perfect ping, like Mario Kart real time connection. You know, Minecraft really worked out, and it was perfect. You know, so we do need a 24-hour server, and I want one badly. Problem with that? Money. They cost hella money. As far as I know. If you could set up a free one, I would love to know how. Because I don't really know enough about it. I just know that when I Googled it, or it may have been something I asked ChatGPT, I can't remember. But I did ask Tyler or Google or ChatGPT. I asked somebody about it back in the day, and they were like, yeah, you got to pay for that. Which, obviously. But I want a 24-hour server. I could set one up for free if I had a computer that just ran around the clock 24 hours a day, but I can't do that. I can't just leave my computer running 24 hours a day. I got to shut her down when I go to sleep. Let her rest. I don't know. I do want one, though. I want a 24-hour, 7 days a week server, like just a permanently on server that any of us can jump into whenever we want. That is the dream. That's what I kind of wanted from the get-go, but we've made do up until now, you know. Maybe one day, I don't know. I don't know. I'll look into it. I'll tell you that much. I'll look into it and see if we can't generically whip something up. I know that Tyler is, I don't know if he'll get around to it this year or next year or whenever. But Tyler said something about setting up a server at his place. something that we could access 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And it would house all of his TV shows, movies, music, literature, just anything he has digital, all the ROMs, emulators. You would be able to access that and download it, and or even just play it off of his server through the internet. That is something he's talked to me about extensively, about wanting to set that up. And it's not like his aim is to set that up for a ton of different people to randomly access it. It would mainly just be like for him and Tiffany, his wife, something that they could access no matter where they are. They'd have access to all of their huge, archive and library of digital media. And then if I wanted to, I could access it too. But honestly, at this point, I don't know that I would need, because we have a lot of the same stuff digitally. But there are some things. There are a few things I could look into and see. I will ask Tyler about that and see what he thinks about a permanent 24-hour a day server. I'll see if it's feasible. Because we have the Minecraft, we have the Last Novia, we have the Jurassic World one that we've kind of abandoned, unfortunately. We have the Patreon one that we haven't been able to put too much time into. That's my fault, though. That's totally 100% my fault. The Patreon streams are always very short compared to the regular streams. I'm not going to lie. The Patreon streams suck. They feel forced. There's never, you're usually the only one that's ever there. They suck, and I hate them. I want more people there. It's not even the money aspect. I just wish there were more people there. It kind of sucks knowing that you're doing a playthrough that only one or two people will ever see. I don't like that. It bothers me. Not that a lot of people are watching my regular stuff, but like, come on. And it doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing it. It just means that it's annoying. It's annoying. Because it was such a good idea in my head. I had observed another YouTuber that had their setup that way, where they did Patreon only live streams just by having their streams unlisted on YouTube and giving the link to the Patreon members. And I thought, well, that's genius. Now YouTube has kind of made that a moot point, because now you have members. You have people who can subscribe to you on YouTube, but now you have paid memberships, which I guess is kind of like the same as paid subscriptions on Twitch. People can follow you on Twitch, but they can also subscribe for money. And now YouTube has their version of that. And their version of that, you can do like members only streams where only members can watch. Or you could do members only streams where everybody can watch and only members can chat. There's a lot of different options. But I can't unlock memberships because I don't have high enough watch time on my channel. I'm not big enough. My YouTube isn't big enough to unlock those fancy features. But right now I'm working on Pokemon Black 2 on the Patreon side of things. And then after I finish that up, we'll probably play a little more Minecraft. And then after that, we might play something new entirely. Tyler and I are putting together a list of all the games that I have yet to play that I want to play. I started to put that on the Discord server the other day when I made the big archive list of all the things I have played, and I decided not to do it yet. I need to really vet the list first, because I never know what game, like let's say I put a game on the list and people get excited for it, and then it turns out later it becomes a Patreon exclusive, then they might get pissed. You know what I mean? So I have to be real careful with that, you know. But either way, no matter what, we're going to keep at it and keep having fun doing this stuff as long as we can. We're going to make the Patreon fun, damn it. We're going to play some new stuff soon. Hopefully when we get past Pokemon and Minecraft, we can play some brand new stuff on Patreon that we've never played before. We got to get people, we got to convince people to join, which at this point it's $3. It's $3. People pay more than that for a piece of fruit. A cup of coffee now is what, $8? Y'all have no excuses, you bunch of bums. Join the Patreon. Hey, if it makes you feel any better, I don't get to keep a penny of it. I kind of made a permanent promise of like, hey, we're just going to roll this into charity. And this is going to be our charity thing. So, you know, you guys can always, keep that in the back of your mind. I do need to sit down and figure out who our next charity is going to be. I did say I want to do something with animals. We've done humans, enough human crap. I want to do animals. Well, I can't say human crap. That kind of is offensive to the causes we've donated to. So I take that. I walk that back. I take that back. We've done enough human related stuff. I want to do some animal stuff. Couldn't help but notice that it comes in a luscious variety of moss, lichen, and algae. Three of my favorite things on the wall. Oh yeah, maybe the red is an algae or a lichen or something. It doesn't necessarily mean it's blood. Naturally, moss sits on the throne, lichen second, algae third. I don't know. I just want to know what the red is. Park warden. Earl does too. Sometimes I see have nibbles as he passes the restaurant. Least favorite thing to find on the wall is graffiti. I get that. I mean, I get it. I get it. Ready when I am. Yay! Tyler's here. And he's ready for some Monster Hunter. Like I said, we're not streaming it, but it's something we gonna go play. I will be ready in a moment. In a moment. Uno momento. Oops, that is not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. You know what? I've been playing this. I've played this game exclusively with mouse and keyboard, and I am still fucking struggling. I'm still struggling. I've gotten decent, but no, it's still not up to snuff. It's still terrible. Oh my god. Look at all the missed spots. Ping. But I think we'll work on wrapping this up now, folks. You got a Simpsons stream this morning. You got like 3 or 4 hours worth of Power Wash Simulator out of me today. I have been streaming almost the entire day. Now I'm gonna go and play some monsters. Because they got it coming. They got it coming. They should have thought of that before they became monsters. Oh, Jesus. It's always the dirt that hides under the lip, you know? You gotta get in there and double check. Oh my god. I'm hurrying, I promise. It's just OCD. If I don't get the stragglers, it's gonna bother me. How did I do this sloppy of a job? How? How was I this sloppy? Okay. 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 I'm gonna walk over here to the bench. Somebody left a lot of paper lying around. Has anybody seen the mayor's cat? That is a magical piece of paper, let me tell you. Okay. All right. Well, I think I'm going to head off. And yeah, this turned into hey, we did. We hit 60%. You asked me earlier if we'd hit 60. We made it to 61%. Look at that. We did it. Yeah, this fountain actually turned out to be a lot bigger than I thought it would be. We've been at it for what feels like an eternity now with this bitch. I mean, it actually is kind of bigger than you would think it would be when you walk right up on it. I mean, look at it. It has a lot more to it than you think it does. Like if you're over here looking at it, you're like, yeah, it's big, but it's not that big. Look at it. Yeah, okay, it's big. But then when you get like up on it and in it, you're like, God damn. And think about it. I had to physically wash every literal inch that you see here just to get to 60%. So, yeah. Given how much we've done versus how much is left, I'd say, yeah, we could probably knock that out in one more stream, is all that'll take. So, all right. See you, folks.